Oh, shit.
We have a potential 600 in progress for most of each. Subject is 25 and appears to have shit his pants.
Get back here.
Are we rolling?
Yes.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Community Service Podcast. Today's guest is me. Wish me luck as I try not to be too dark because everything is just dark right now. It's just dark. Anyways, I want to say Phoenix, Arizona. I am coming back to Rick Bronson's House of Comedy January 28th through the 31st. I don't know why I have to look at the date. Seems pretty simple to remember the date you're there. But no, I have to have my flyer up with my dates. Phoenix, Arizona, January 28th through 31st. Anyways, I also would love to thank my new Patreon members. God bless you. Thank you, Desiree Scott. And thank you, Farts McCool. Nice producer tier. God bless you. And thank you, Paige. No last name. Subscribe to Patreon if you want a bonus episode of this. We'll come back to the light soon enough, but the dark days are upon us. Anyways, check out this episode. We talk about tasers to the nutsack. Hello, what's up? I'm back. Solo episode because no one will come near me. What? Oh, beverage on sale, $2.99. Pick and save. Pick and save doesn't exist anymore. It's Big Lots.
Is that what it used to be called?
Yeah, it's bullshit. I'm that old school generation. Pick and save. We made jokes because you pick a booger and you save it behind your ear. You know, pick and save.
It's a good name.
I don't know why pick and saves and Big Lots even exist anymore. Basically, if you're not familiar with these type of discount stores, it's like Ross, but for stuff, not clothes so much.
Like
they have clothes,
perishable things?
like everything. But then Ross is slowly becoming like them, like toys, appliances, couches, art, food, cereal, toys. I just remember I used to go there for toys. It's a good toy aisle. And the bootleg. Had the guns made of lead, you know, you rub that lead paint in your eye sockets as a Nino, really helps develop you.
Were they all packaged up like legit brand new stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I just assume it's exactly like Ross and Marshall's. They just take the old toys and the old food. I don't actually know it. I know that I grew up going there, and in my childhood I spent many of time at Pick and Save. But as when I grew up, you just realize you're like, oh, this isn't that discounted. Like, I don't need $6 off the Panasonic DVD player. I'll just go to Best Buy with the warranty, you know.
Yeah.
It's like the savings didn't match the risk.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, oh, it's $6. Okay, I'll take the. It had some deals. I remember I always used to eat all the candy off the floor. Because they had these quarter machines. You put a quarter in, you twist, you get Skittles. You get old stale Skittles. So I wouldn't even have the quarter to twist and get the Skittles. So I'd just search on the floor and eat them. And always a lot of banana runts on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh. How about the lime runt? I want you to leave me a little scraps of the lime. Go and give me some banana. Banana nut bread.
They sell those banana runts in like a bag by themselves too, though.
And that's for psychopaths. Anybody who loves banana runts is a piece of shit. I know that's an aggressive stance on that.
What about the rye chip from the like Gardettos?
It's amazing.
You love that one?
Yeah.
Because they sell that by itself too. And
That
that was
makes
always
sense.
the one I used to like leave behind.
You left that behind.
I love the little, all the enriched wheat flour ones.
I wanted the bleached pretzel. I wanted some dye in my insides. Why the fuck do we bleach food? Oh, don't get me started. I'll tell you why, because it probably makes it last longer and it's cheaper.
Also, just for the look of it, too, I think.
Yeah. Damn white power bread. Get over yourself. We're all equal. Sometimes I want some squaw bread. It's brown. It's brown bread.
Oh, is it?
Dark brown.
Okay.
Cuban bread. Oh, Jesus. Silly goose time. I got nothing, guys. I got nothing. I don't know what you're going to get out of me. I hope it's not angry.
Oh, I was
What?
going to say we have
What,
new
Chris?
patrons, but we can do that.
Oh, we do. We do. Oh, I'll do it up
We'll
top.
do an opener.
You ruined it, Chris.
cut
No,
this out.
just me yelling at you the whole show. God, Craig's losing it over there. He's just yelling at Chris. He's the sweetheart from Minnesota. What did he do to him? You know what you did. Wait, I had something. So, I mean, I didn't really want to get topical, but it's fucking impossible. I mean, the Capitol was stormed. I talked about it on Patreon,
Yeah.
but not the main,
No,
right?
it hadn't happened yet.
It hadn't happened. Okay. I didn't know all the juicy details until I thought that was made up. That guy that tased his nuts.
I'm reading conflicting reports that it's not true. People did die, and
I
somebody
know
did have a
yeah.
heart attack.
Okay. I read 5 people, right? Jesus.
Yeah.
And one was the officer.
I think 2 officers now.
2. God damn it. And then, yeah, it's crazy. In one of the stories and articles I read, it said that a guy accidentally tased his nuts
Yeah.
when climbing something, then fell, landed in such a way that the taser continued to tase him in his nuts, and then had a heart attack
Yeah.
and passed. I mean, bro, like that's the craziest way to.
It's rough.
He tased his nutsack, which caused his demise. You can't make that up. Or maybe somebody did. I don't know. But that's the article that kept popping up. And I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like, you read that
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, that's fucking BuzzFeed or,
Yeah.
a clickbait, The Onion.
Yeah.
That sounds like I said BuzzFeed. I meant to say The Onion. And then you're like, oh, this happened? I don't know.
The amount of things that lately that happen where you're like, is that a joke? And it turns out it's a real normal
Yeah.
thing that happens now.
You're like,
It's
what?
increasing, it seems.
It's crazy. And then here's my thoughts on all of it. Like, I hate whether you're left or right, and like it's kind of insane that these people storm the Capitol and then assault police officers, but they were so against the BLM movement and
Yeah.
rioting, yet they riot and kill the cop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the obviously don't kill any cops, and cops don't kill the citizens. You can here's my pet peeve. It's like you can not want independent businesses to be rioted, but understand the pain and anguish of people. You can understand all sides of it, and it's the part that I can't stand is like, okay, so the lady that was from San Diego that got shot,
Yeah.
people are like making fun of her, like, see, that's what you get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like whether that's a 1,000,000% true or not, it doesn't matter. She's fucking dead. Leave her alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to rub it in. That does not. She's gone. I don't know.
Well, and then on the other side, people are trying to make her a hero.
And that's crazy. It's like, you shouldn't have stormed, and you should still be alive. And everyone gets so ugly on every side. And it's just like, is there any, of course there is, but it doesn't seem to be in the media. Is there any just calm, rational people that are like, oh, this is just awful from every facet? Like, people are like, I don't even know. It's just insane. It's something I don't wish to talk about, but it's impossible because they just stormed the fucking Capitol. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, it's just, we're other nations, citizens in other nations, that they're like worried about us.
Yeah.
They're like, what's going on over there? Some are probably laughing at us. Some are probably sad. It's a little bit of everything. Also, too, it's just two extreme sides. It's like ultra right, ultra left, even with their complete different beliefs. Most of them probably not nuts, but on both sides, right and left, red and blue, whatever the fuck, there's always rotten apples on both sides. So there's
sure.
probably there's instigators over here, there's instigators over here. And it just sucks because, one or two in each pocket makes the whole group look bad. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just saying everything is so polarized, and I just can't believe that guy tased his nutsack. It's the bottom line there. And I can understand, if Trump was your guy and you're that frustrated, you wanted to protest, but like storming the Capitol and killing people. Like, there's a difference between protesting at the gates and saying like, fuck this is bullshit, to assaulting a guy just doing his job with a fucking fire extinguisher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how did it get there? Like, go picket, shout, say your signs, shake your signs, do what you got to do. But, like, of course, like, if it was just like them grabbing a podium and nobody died, I'm fine with that. It's like, oh, they fucked the podium up, but like 5 people are gone over nothing, change nothing. That's, it didn't have to be. Just insane times, dude. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's like, you look at the Women's March, and that was kind of, it was a reaction to an election that didn't go the way people wanted, but it was kept within a certain, I think within the First Amendment rights to protest and to show dissatisfaction with the system. And this could have been the alternate version for people that didn't get what they wanted. They didn't get Trump for 4 more years. But then it was like, somewhat because of his stoking them, somewhat because they didn't need an excuse to do what they did. Like, they just, fed up. And maybe if there had been a pandemic last time when the Women's March happened, it could have got more crazy.
Oh, shit, I forgot where I was going to say. I had something. Keep going. It's gone.
Oh. I just don't know. I don't know.
Oh, the obvious, like, it just feels like they let them in.
Yes, that's a good point to focus on.
It's on film. Like, they just let them through.
Supposedly 6 attempts to get the National Guard on site after it started were all denied. And there was an original push to not have a big presence that day. They're saying because they didn't want a repeat of what happened over the summer with the church and the tear
and
gas.
Then officials are saying there was no warning, and like every social media platform is what do you talk? There was hundreds of thousands of people saying this shit. There was crazy it's just it's baffling. I don't know why they would make us look like asshats, the country in a whole, like we just look awful. Why they would want that is what I'm saying. But that looked like they just were like, come on in. And all the memes on Twitter you see, it's like, I don't even know the exact numbers, but it's like 2.2 billion on defense a month, and you can't stop that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems like there's certain people deciding what to get scared of ahead of time and what not to. And it's definitely somebody's agenda is being fulfilled in that scenario where they just let it happen.
Yeah, I
And
don't
I mean-
understand it or the incentive behind it, but that shit looked like they just said, "Come on in."
Like there was a scenario where if like that one guy hadn't stood his ground, they might have got a hold of some senators, some lawmakers, and done things. Some of the people that got deep inside the Capitol had intentions to do terrible things.
Yeah.
Some people were like they got caught up in the moment and were running in.
That's what I think. I think there was a few psychopaths.
The front people, the people that first got in, you see those videos, those people they have a mission.
They have maliciousness in them. I feel like the other people were just following behind. They're just like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
And now they're not being allowed to fly home, and they're crying because they're just like, oh, I fucked up.
Well, yeah,
I'm a terrorist now, and I can't fly.
It's like the Dave Chappelle thing. Like, I didn't know I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like that gets you out of stuff if you're a white person.
Yeah, not this time. I love that. I'm looking for the big word. I guess just justice. I was looking for something fancier. Just you did what you did, and now you got to pay the piper.
But do you think there'll be any repercussions for the like Congress people, the people higher up that egged him on, and like even the lady that was giving out like Pelosi's location and stuff on Twitter?
I mean, I hope so. It's a sad reality of this shit,
Because I feel like they're going to make examples of some of the just random people that went inside.
They might make an example of one senator.
Maybe,
There's
yeah.
always, if anything happens, it's only going to fall on one guy, and it's whoever has the least power amongst whoever did what they did.
True.
They're like, get him.
But I don't think they want to set any precedent that people in that position can be removed from power. Like, even the people on the other side don't want it to be a common thing for a senator to be expelled. They don't want that because they like the kind of untouchable status they all have.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like with the cops. Like, there's yet to be really no officers have ever like gone
Because they won't
to
rat
jail.
each other out, even though they know there's some rotten apples up in there.
Because they're all in a fortuitous position for themselves. Like,
Yeah.
You're in that money-making senator position. Just play the game. Even if you're on the other side, they'll do everything that makes it look like they're trying, as long as they know it won't actually work. They'll call on the people to be removed.
Well, I called him. He said no health care.
We passed the articles of impeachment knowing that it was going to get stopped in the Senate. All the ways that
we lifted our finger to make it look like we did something to make you love us and vote for us.
Yeah, but
we're all in cahoots.
The consequences.
We
don't
all
exist.
smoke the same cigars at the same golf shop.
Yeah.
We all laugh behind the curtain, and then they probably, I swear to God, they're all friends. I think it was Howard Zinn. He was an OG author and activist and World War II veteran.
It's the People's History or something.
Yeah,
It's a
he's
book
written
he wrote.
some cool books. I believe You Can't Be Neutral on a Moving Train. And he just had one of his essays or articles he wrote. I just remember it. He's like, they're always shaking hands and laughing when even they're supposedly enemies. He's like, I think they're all friends and they're all in on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think you're right.
Just like, how the fuck does everyone have a picture with Jeffrey Epstein and what's her name? Like,
I know.
literally everyone.
Every crooked politician.
And, I mean, you could just argue that those two got around. They were at every party and every side.
Of course. But you're like,
It's just so strange.
why was Bill Clinton on the flight logs 14 times and said he's never been?
Yeah, there was a
I think it was
picture-
more than that, too. And why is there a picture of him on the island saying he's never been? You're just like, dude, you're there. Just say you went on vacation and nothing bad happened.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be like, no, I'm not sitting in this chair on this podcast right now. You're crazy. Yeah. Insane. In that one, was it a prince or something that got caught? The guy from London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he a prince? I think so.
I don't know what he's something royal turd. And they're gonna kill me. I'm just joking. Royal. Yeah, that was pictures of him with the girl and on the island. He's like, I've never met them. I've never been there. And then I don't even know. They probably show him. It's like, oh, yes. How can I forget? He's fucking crazy. God, does everyone just forget that Epstein didn't kill himself? It's this, I can't even. This world. I just don't understand why everyone just trusts the government so much. If you look at history, it's not good.
Yeah, I don't much like the alternative either, though, where everybody does whatever they want. Especially,
I don't.
seeing
I
what
want
some of
to.
these
I
people
want to
wanna
govern. I
do.
would just like. I don't want to do the government shit. How about just a little less corruption?
Yeah,
A little dial it back.
less military, less corruption.
How
more
about maybe
social service?
just do what the public, general pop kind of wants and needs, and it's for the greater good of humanity. Just a pinch
Yeah.
of that.
That'd be good.
A little less war, huh? A little less bombies. A little bombs dropping. Maybe we just don't do that. Is that crazy? Is that so radical? It's so funny that like that thought, no war, no bombs, no murder, is like a radical thought. Like what about
Yeah.
what about this? What about this area? They hate each other. How about we just little good old fashioned dance party, little dance off. We pop lock, see who's victorious over those hills over there from a head spin. How about that?
Just like the lines we draw, in this, like, here's where Canada starts. It's where the U.S. ends. Like, those are all made up.
Yeah.
The only thing is, like, maybe where the water starts and where the land starts. Like, those are real.
Those are all made up lines that were, most of them fought for the blood shed on those lines that move them X amount of miles this way or that way, or sometimes feet.
Yeah.
Insane.
Just the weird division that we're all, it's one planet. We're all humans.
I don't know how many, probably hundreds of thousands of years ago, maybe millions, but, Pangea,
Yeah.
supercontinent. That was a time we were all from the same goddamn land, literally. Then, millions of years, and the ocean farted and just we floated apart. Insane. This is all. The thing that is so insane to me is most every human being on this planet just wants, maybe no riots at the Capitol and a roof and the food and the mineral water. And yet there's just extreme poverty, homeless, endless war. I'm depressed.
What about the 180 days to divulge everything about aliens?
Oh my God. Did you hear they discovered a new planet too?
Which one? Where?
I read it half asleep. I opened the news app.
In this solar system?
Today I read this. That's what it said. Earth-sized habitable zone, planet found hidden in early Kepler data. Astronomers found water on an exoplanet twice the size of Earth. Crazy.
Have you seen Interstellar?
Yes, I love that movie.
All I can think about when they talk about planets being different size now is how, like, time would move differently.
Oh
if you
my
were
God.
on the planet.
That movie is so good.
It's interesting, and I think that's all legit science.
Yes, they brought in all the brains in those fields to help write that and make it scientifically accurate. I remember watching a little.
Even though I bet Neil deGrasse Tyson like tore apart some of it.
Yeah, he always does.
Yeah. It's
Hey, you're too sciencey, Neil. Let me have my Tesla. He was ripping Tesla apart on
Oh, yeah.
Rogan, and I was like, "You leave him alone. They killed him." I don't know.
Oh, wait, he was ripping apart Nikola Tesla?
Well, just saying how Nikolai Tesla wanted electricity to float through the air through radio waves.
Yeah.
And Neil was saying a radio wave isn't powerful enough to power the stuff we need.
Yeah, okay.
And he's like, what happens when a wall, like he's like saying how it's unfeasible because of cement and structures where radio signals can't get through, as well as it's not powerful enough.
Nah. That seems logical. Seems like you'd get electrocuted.
Yeah, but I like to wonder in imagination and like radio waves of electricity. Nikolai Tesla wanted to turn the earth into a conductor to where you just plug into the earth. And I was like, wow, that's cool. I get it. I've been plugging into the earth my whole life.
I was going to say.
I guess an article I found, a planet called KOI 5AB. Hey, scientists, what the fuck is that?
Well, there's a lot of planets. I mean, if you start naming them like the hurricanes, you're going to run out of names real fast.
Hurricane urethra. Yeah, I can't wait till they tell us all the alien shit.
If they do, I mean, it seems
Just
they
tell
made
us.
up their own rule that they have to tell us. Like, what are they going to tell us? What are they going to redact?
The fact that they've been probably working on alien spacecraft and reverse engineering them for the better part of 60 years is insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When was Area 51, the first crash landing?
The 50s, so yeah, like
It was-
70 years ago.
Yeah. That was the first time they admitted it, and then they recalled it. It was like, oh, just joking. It's a weather balloon. Even though the previous one said it was an alien fucking UFO. And all the soldiers that said that they found it, they said it was some sort of metal that they would like fold and crumple up and they'd just go, and then be back.
Oh, wow.
And they were just like, what? And they all said in the interviews, they're like, that wasn't no weather balloon. They're full of shit. That was some shit. It makes me excited. I'm just like, oh, a little freaked out. But back to shit I've said in the past. If it's so advanced species and they wanted to take over, they would have already done it. Or tomorrow is going to be a bad day. What are the notes that I have? Just tased in the balls, new planet. That's all I have. Oh, just basically, I started reading the news. What am I doing that for? It's negative. It's fearful. And UK, I've just become a news outlet. This article I read today because I was like, why have I been reading the news? I hate the news.
I think reading the news is better than watching any news network.
That's true. Then you just download the prompter. What is with people that download their opinions from news programs? They literally, you hear it, they say the exact same words. That, we all know him. The Fox guy, the MSNBC guy. Arch nemesis in the political scheme. It just feels like they're like, oh, thanks for that opinion. I'll take that.
You're talking about like everyday people that walk around spewing what they just saw on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's mostly everybody at this point. Like,
Yeah.
it's easier than doing the research.
Yeah. It doesn't help that the internet is just full of conflicting research from reputable sources. You ever read shit where you're like, yeah, he did tase his nuts from like Wall Street Journal, and then the New York Post goes, no, he didn't. And you're like, well, which one is it, assholes?
Snopes
You're
got
both
involved.
supposed, yeah. Then Snopes probably ran and operated by fucking some billionaire asshole.
Well, I was reading something about how the general way they make news now is they take whatever happened and they start thinking about what do our viewers want to take away from this, and then they start feeding them their own, like, it's sort of like a reverse echo chamber where it's like, we know they want to hear it was Biden's fault, so we're going to find a way to say
How about
that.
you just present the facts?
That seems to have... That doesn't make people tune in, because they don't like to be told the opposite of what they think. They like to be reinforced.
Yeah, I know. I understand all that, but it's also like, I know it's just a constant ratings game, but like, should the news worry about the ratings? Shouldn't it just be
right? It should
the news. I felt like maybe at one point it really was, and then now it's just a big old. It just reminds me of this. This is a visual analogy. If you're listening, I'm sorry, but just this. That's what the news is. Just fucking different gas bags of fear spewing shit, and every now and then they'll have like a woke guy on Fox that they're like just calls out all the bullshit, and then they don't like. I remember Russell Brand just calling out crazy shit, and they didn't know how to handle it. They're like, "You're so handsome." He's like, "Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the war crimes happening in Iraq with this, and this." And they're just like, "Ah." I enjoyed it very much so. And there was that one guy that they were saying like, "Well, what do you think about this super large corporation closing down because of this and not being bailed out?" He's like, "Good." He's like, "They have it so they don't take their vacation in the Hamptons 1 year. Whoopity-doo, give it to the people." And you just see the news anchor being like, "That's not how this is supposed to go. You bamboozled me." I love those moments.
Seth Rogen was taking down some Republican like news guy on Twitter. He was trying to get him to come on the show, and Seth Rogen just repeatedly
it's my favorite.
Shut him down.
Yeah.
Called him an empty toilet waiting for shit. Something like that.
God bless him. I remember it went viral. Someone clipped it up and posted it. But it was a small local broadcast in like Texas somewhere, and it was a conservative news anchor trying to get a guy's opinion, and basically asking a black dude, like kind of setting him up to go against Mexicans, brown persons. And then he like went, no. And he gave this crazy epic speech, and he goes, "My brown brothers, we need to unite, become powerful, vote, and take out these racist bastards." And you just saw the newscaster flounder like, "What? You're supposed to be pro-wall and not like them." And he was like, "We need to unite and take down the local legislation and fight for the people." And it was just, it's awesome. I love that. It's a united people is a strong people. Now let's go to the Capitol. I don't know.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
No. I started working out again after 3 weeks off because of COVID and the holidays and everything. And still hate it, guys. Still hate it. I was definitely a little winded. My personal trainer, Hidalgo, did say something. He's like, "First day back's the hardest day back." I was like, "I know. I almost just texted you. I quit." I did. I was so close. I was just like, "Oh, God, who cares?" Squats and rows. It's good, though.
Do you think your mood goes up and down based on your exercising?
Absolutely 100%, because I was definitely, I'm sure you could tell, a little low vibe, a little dark. I'm sad. I'm fucking sad for so many different reasons.
Yeah, you got a lot going on.
And it's like, I don't want to do anything. It's like, I don't want to, it almost feels like I want to crawl into a hole in a cave and just hibernate, because maybe then nothing happened. Obviously shit happened. That's not the real world, but like, I just don't want to go back to anything. And then you can't do that. So I went, and I'm glad I did, because it did help my mood, because I wasn't in a good headspace. I didn't want to do my podcast today.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was like, oh, fuck. I don't have a guest. I'm supposed to be funny for an hour. I know, it's not stand-up. You don't have to have jokes every 3 seconds, but we'll get some in here. Don't you worry. And then I worked out, and I felt better. I went on a beach walk, and it helps. It helps. We've had this conversation before. It's annoying the amount of stuff you have to do to feel good.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's not one thing, guys. It's like, oh, vitamins, nutritious diet, walk, cold shower, polar plunge, whatever. Work out. It's like, God, I just want a fried chicken sandwich. It's like, I don't want to do none of this. I don't have the energy that Kevin Hart has. Fuck that guy. Slow down, bro. Calm yourself. No, I love him, but I'm just like, guy fucking gets spinal surgery and comes back with like 3 specials. You're like, what are you?
He probably just gets it. Like he gets real down when he doesn't do any of that stuff, and is just like, learned to never give it a second, because it'll sneak in if you do.
I mean, even The Rock talks about battling mental shit.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty good. Louis C.K. has that bit to where he's like, I'm going to absolutely butcher it. I don't remember it. It's been probably 4 years since I've seen it. But he's like, how am I suicidal and that homeless guy's not? Like, I'm hanging in on, and I have $1 million. He doesn't have a home, and he's just trucking. It's crazy. It's a weird thought, just an observation.
I bet there are some freedoms of homelessness if you're in the right mindset, like just the no job needed.
I know. I mean, I actually do know a couple homeless people. That's sad. But you know them too. They used to hang out at Trader Joe's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There are homeless people that are not, schizophrenic and mentally ill and, drug addicts that just don't want to be a part of society anymore. They kind of, unless they're doing arts and crafts, they kind of got a little anger. But I understand that. It's like, the whole system is, just look at it. You got the Ritz-Carlton next Skid Row in Los Angeles is the quickest analogy I could give you. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. And just to be like, man, fuck that system, and then go off. I respect that. I don't have the balls to do it because that's hard. That's hard.
And I don't really ever see a happy homeless person. It's not.
No, it's more like van people, just the I don't even know the correct term.
Like nomads.
Nomads, yeah, just nomad. Just is that gypsy?
I think that works.
Or
vagabond.
Nice. Just
yeah, if you can create some of those, like you said, like a roof over your head, you need a couple of things to be happy. Not everything, but a couple of things.
Like a van, and you have no boss, and you're eating and drinking your coffee or whatever. But anyone's just on the street, yeah, you're gonna be angry. You slept on concrete. That shit hurts.
Yeah.
But I did move to the beach, and from Hollywood to here, it went from hundreds, if not thousands, of homeless people to I've seen 6. But they're just beach homeless. It's like they shower, they lay on the beach. It's different.
It's the closest to being happy you get.
And I don't know how I started talking about this.
But in the 1800s, like the cowboy days, people would just live under the stars.
Yeah.
And if you hunt for your food, you got a horse you feed, you didn't need as much money.
No, not at all.
Almost none.
You could live off the land.
And I think that was probably, you could probably find happiness in that kind of an environment. But
Yeah.
it's not, the world's not built for that anymore at all.
Like even when I don't always do this, but I have done it. Like when my cousins from Mexico come down, I'll show them like Beverly Hills and Skid Row.
Yeah.
I've talked about it. And they see it and they're just like, oh my God, because poverty in other countries doesn't look like poverty here. Like ours is insane. Like most poverty in other countries is people living off the land
Yeah.
and not in Skid Row. Like that shit is insane. All right. Well, let me pull some shit out of my ass. Let's keep it positive. It's kind of hard right now. It's kind of hard. The beach has been saving me. The silver lining, I've been going on super long beach walks every day, so long that my fucking hips hurt. Am I kidding? Am I that old where my hips hurt from walking? It's miles, but still. I guess it's the sand. But
That, yeah.
I couldn't help but notice today at the gym, because I did not work out. And I was moving. I was like, why is my leg sore? Because beach walks. I sound like a spoiled little beach. Just go to the beach. I mean, a lot of people do have access to the beach, but regardless of wherever you're at, just go on a long walk. Let me tell you, it's the only thing that got me through this last fucking rough couple of weeks. Don't do a long walk if you have COVID, though. Definitely stay home. But yeah, just, when I was going through it with my uncle, just long beach walks, crying, now just long existential fucking thought, it's just, any form of nature, you just kind of think differently. Am I crazy?
I mean, there's science behind like walking through like nature, like forests with trees.
Yeah.
Is, like as far as your like dopamine and serotonin, it just goes up.
Okay, then yeah, I knew it was. I was like,
I imagine the beach has got to be similar.
There's a difference between walking at the mall and walking in whatever, a hill, a desert trail, a beach. It just, as my good buddy JT Parr would say, it hits different. It just hits different, man. And thank God I am very fortunate to where I could just walk there. But even, I remember like when being in a studio apartment with no kitchen in Hollywood as the pandemic walls close in, we'd go to Malibu. Me and my girl would go to Malibu or South Bay beaches, and it just helps. And yeah, that was an hour drive, but it was fucking worth it. Like, oh, let's make sandwiches and go eat on the ocean. Okay. Because a studio apartment with no kitchen gets a little tight in there. The sweet location of this spot, I think it's just helped with my sanity so much. Because even as horrible as the events are in the, the health of our world, as well as the political turmoil and the family shit I'm going through, it's just like, I'll get through it.
Have you ever tried meditating?
I have tried it more and more lately. I'm really bad at it. I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm actually on day 5 of 20 minutes a day. Today's day 5, so hopefully I do it later. But I'm terrible at it as far as actually focusing on my breath and stuff.
I've seen inspirational videos that say, like, who cares if you're terrible at it? It's even like if you're just acknowledging your thoughts coming in and policing them, like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's practice.
That's already you're already meditating. Yeah, sure. Maybe it's this much and you're not astral traveling like Ace Ventura did. But at least you begin the process. Like, that's where I'm at, just the beginning of the process. Most of the time I'm just thinking, like, why are you thinking about that? Which again
is another thought.
Is still acknowledging the process of the meditation. I don't know. I don't really know how to do it. I try.
Because I think most of it is just trying, like you said. It's a workout.
And I think one day it just clicks. Unfortunately, I haven't been there yet.
No, I think it's more like a very gradual, like lifting weights. Like you can hold it for 10 seconds one day, and you're like, oh shit, I just did it.
Once again, if you want to be a Bruce Lee master, it's like, oh, that's so much work.
It is.
Oh.
But of all the things that require work, like meditating,
That's
is
pretty
literally
easy
like
work.
sitting in a chair or sitting on a pillow.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to think of ways to get myself going, and like I want to exercise more than I do. But I was like, oh, if you can meditate, that's opposite of exercising entirely.
Yeah.
But it's still committing to something that you show up for every day. And
Yeah.
then maybe that'll lead to something bigger.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a bullshit job. I'm just kidding. They've done so many studies on how it just helps you, and countless people talk about it, from Seinfeld to Howard Stern, how it changed their life. Both of them are doing pretty good.
Yeah. And it'd be nice to see that they they weren't doing good, and they started meditating, and then they figured out ways to get where they are now.
Did you hear Howard Stern talk about it and how he discovered it?
No.
Through his mother. His mother had just lost someone very close that devastated her to the point to where he was concerned about his mother's depression. And then he would, call and check in with his mom. And he said one day, like a light switch, she was a different person. And he's like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, I was genuinely worried about your well-being, and now like you're like good. And he said that she discovered meditation, transcendental.
Oh yeah, that one.
TM. And then he started doing it. And then, yeah, I'm fine with just copying the behavior of successful people.
Yeah.
It's doing pretty good. You got $600 million. Okay, I'm gonna try some TM. But stupid TM, I guess it costs thousands of dollars to get your mantra, and I was like, that sounds very non-meditative.
Well, I've heard people talk about applying a price tag to something like that makes you, once you've paid in, then it reinforces your desire to do it. Like you spent this money.
I do believe in that.
Like just as a getting you going.
And it's just as simple as me paying to go to the gym means I'll go to the gym.
Yeah.
If I don't pay to go to the gym, I won't go to the gym. I have to.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's like, why do I could just run at the beach and do push-ups and sit-ups. And I'll just be like, nah. It's the truth.
Yeah, I'll buy gadgets like for running. Or
but
for,
I
like,
won't run.
Well, no,
You don't need the gadgets.
Because I spent money on the gadget,
Okay.
it'll make me do it.
Like
I bought a scale that's like fancy and it weighs your BMI and all this stuff, and it actually got me going.
I bought a pull-up bar.
Did you use it?
No. I mean, I did, but it's laughable. The
It doesn't
inconsistency
last. It really
of it.
doesn't stick it out forever.
Let's say I had 500 days with it. I used it 50.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. It wasn't enough. But you think it's never a lack thereof equipment.
No.
You could do burpees and run.
Yeah.
You don't need the Bowflex. You don't need the $89.95 Thai bow with Billy Blank. What was that one with Suzanne Summers?
Oh, the Thigh Master.
Oh man, she was hot. She was in Step by Step in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm. Three's Company.
Three's Company. Diva. Those pearly whites. What about that Jack Ritter? Handsome
John
devil.
Ritter.
That's what I said.
Jack Tripper was the
Jack
character.
Tripper. Jack Tripper. Oh my God. John Ritter. He also played a really good weirdo. Like
He was good in the Problem Child movies,
yeah.
but because he was more like desperate, like he was just kind of trying to handle that crazy kid. I'm trying to think of what he was in.
was in a bunch of stuff and I'm drawing blanks. But of course, Jack Tripper and Problem Child is where I most know him from. I know he was in like at least 50 other projects.
Was it Stay Tuned, where they get trapped inside the TV, him and his wife?
Whoa.
That's an old one.
I was going to say, I think I remember that, and I don't remember like that. I
might
must have watched that
rewatch
when I was
that.
like 8.
Yeah, it's I think it's good, if I recall correctly.
It's such a trip to, let's say you saw that movie once when you're 8 years old, to revisit it now, and you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It really takes you back to that exact moment. You're like, I watched Flight of the Navigator on that old click dial. Remember the click dial? Click, click, click. I am 36, but it's just funny to become... You make fun of the old guy, you know, like, I remember when, and I just keep becoming that.
Yeah, you don't understand it until it happens to you.
You're like, I had the click dial with the antenna. You kids and your airwaves, we had metal.
Like a VHS tape.
Yeah, I used to VHS record like Married with Children, like old school TiVo. And sometimes if I didn't want commercials, I'd stop, record.
Oh, wow.
And I'd edit the commercials out to have my favorite episode. I had Kickboxer on bootleg VHS, Rambo 2, Bloodsport. I would put paper on them and write on them and then tape it. So the label would be, I use clear packaging tape. I was like 8. Like, who does that?
I used to do that. I mean, I would.
You did too?
I had a VCR with like you could program the time, so I would record stuff that I wouldn't be around for. But I like started to just catalog things that I liked and record, you know, like TGIF.
We had Wizard of Oz on bootleg, just recorded off the TV. E.T.
Did you record songs off the radio?
Yeah, with cassette tapes.
And you'd always get that little, like, that opening talking where they talk over the beginning of the song. Can't make it perfect. You can't.
I'm very fortunate. We are. I think if you just grew up, like if you're born right now, it's cool because, you know, you're going to have a lot of, you're going to see your life. You're going to see yourself develop as a human because of these things.
Yeah.
And back in the day, you got to buy a big old hunk of camcorder. So that part's cool, but just growing up with the internet and like, imagine going through the hormonal transition as a teenager with Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And likes and comments. And
I can't even think of an equivalent from
there was not,
like,
you know,
the lunchroom.
We
like,
would get embarrassed over the just being seen at the grocery store with your mother.
Mm-hmm.
And now bring this bad boy in with the kids and with the zero empathy and on TikTok making fun of you. Good luck. Everyone's so thin-skinned and sensitive, little pussies now. Fucking cucks. It's fucking so sensitive. Everyone's so sensitive. But he said that about my son. It was only fun when he was making fun of his son over there. Not my son.
What do you think would happen to the world if the internet went away somehow?
Might be a better place.
I think social media is kind of has a definite negative effect on people. Like just everybody thinking they're an expert on everything and thinking that their opinion matters more than other people's.
Yep. I think it would suck because there goes the ultimate tool of information and unlimited resource.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of positives to
and
it.
Connection to the rest of the world and family in other countries. But, yes, it's horrible. I mean, we've heard just the horror stories of, like, some poor college kid that had everything perfect, like, just checks out because, you know, because of shit that doesn't matter. Like, oh, they got a bad grade and they lost their following, you know, like that happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. It's like, okay, bro. Like, what happens if you go to jail? You can't survive the dorm room. It's like, I don't know. I don't. It's. I want to almost go revisit Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Just because I think that's the best show in predicting, and the scariest show of how it can be. Like every time almost every single episode of that show, I'm like, oh no, this could happen. That's why it's so terrifying. It's not guaranteed, of course. It is fictional, but you're like, oh, these are the scary possibilities if said person hacks the whatever.
Yeah.
The infrastructure, the system of AI, it's just creepy. The fact that hearing like all my favorite scientists, who's that Asian guy with the white hair? But he was talking about the possibilities of the future and what's gonna hold, and you're like, damn, I know you're probably right on almost all of this, because he's like, because this technology exists, then this one will down the road. That's what he was getting at.
Yeah.
And he's like, this isn't 10, 20 years. Like, this isn't the Jetsons in 3030. Like, this is coming. They were talking about future car and how they could mess with the biology of the paint to change the color. They were explaining it to where like it's your paint job can be changed with a computer. Like, oh, you want it red today, you want it purple, and they're like, but explaining the science behind and how it really exists. In my mind, is just like, what? You mean I don't have to have scratches on my car?
Interesting.
I cannot begin to explain it, but these people.
But I bet that even though it's just a couple of button pushes to change the color of your paint, it would probably cost equal to what it costs to get your car repainted. Like, they'll just be like, well, it's got a cost. Can't get that for free.
Probably. I don't know how the technology works. It's probably just very expensive technology, period. I don't think it will just... I think the car is just going to be expensive. I don't think you have to pay to press the buttons. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that could be a way. I just could see, anytime they come up with something new, they're like, how can we make money off of that?
For sure. That's the shitty part. How can we constantly make milk money out them all the time?
Yeah, I was trying to add up all my little subscriptions, different, services here and there. Got Spotify, got Netflix, and I spend more than I would if I just had cable, even though cable's ridiculously expensive.
Overpriced. Yeah, but we pay for no commercials.
Right, I'm fine with it, and I like that system because at least every individual thing is completely affordable.
Yeah.
But then you just you see another one you want.
You're like, damn it. Yeah, I did during COVID. I did the Disney.
Yeah,
because I just exhausted all my other resources of programs. I probably for sure could have found stuff, but when you're like, I'm done with Netflix, and then I wanted to see The Mandalorian, and yeah, they haven't charged me yet. I get 1 month free, so I could opt out. New movies.
It's hard, yeah.
They got aristocats.
Yeah.
Shit, with the cats. I like cats. I don't know.
Yeah, Disney's a good one to get go down a nostalgia hole because they have a lot of those 80s
my God.
movies.
Yeah, and my brain's gonna go a little weird and a little dark again, but Disney movies are fucking weird, dude. You rewatch them, you're like, what?
Like the cartoons,
Yeah, all the weird shit, like the shit they talk about, the subliminal messages, and they say it's disgruntled employees, and it's like over 30 years, like you just the Aladdin shit where he goes, take off your clothes. You've seen that, right?
Yeah, but that's weird because that's a voice actor, and that made it past.
Yeah, that I know. But
the little animations where it's that. Oh, those are dicks or something. I could see that sneaking past. Somebody
Yeah.
draws that, they don't tell anybody. But like voice acting and like somebody sitting there with headphones.
And then the Lion King, the amount of times it says like sex subliminally through the dust and the plants.
That one I could see they could sneak that in easier.
Yeah. But I was rewatching Beauty and the Beast. Great movie. But then you're just like, oh, she's falling in love with a beast. This is bestiality. Like, this is weird. You know what I mean? Like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, that's just a cool movie. And now I still think it's a great movie, but my brain, also just being a comic, you're like, oh, why is she falling in love with the beast? He's an animal. He's not a... That's called
like
bestiality.
It started out as a metaphor, right? And then they just like went all the way with it. Like instead of just being like an ugly guy who's
I don't know.
angry.
It's
They're
weird.
like,
There was also the Donald Duck as a Nazi. Did you see that one?
I'm sure I've seen.
If
like,
you
pictures of that.
if you want to go down a rabbit hole, just Google. I don't even know, Disney weird shit, and they'll list all the movies. And you go watch them, and then you're just like, that's fucking weird, dude. And it's until it's pointed out. Regardless, look who's still paying them for their programs. It's good movies, man. They got Avengers. Just lots of odd stuff throughout the years in their movies. I only remember what I remember, but that's a good start. But the list is long. Like if you get on the Googles, you're just like, oh man, there's a dick on the cover. That one I had the real VHS copy of the Little
it's
Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid, right?
Yeah, the old school VHS copy is clear as day. You're just like, whoa. You never see it until someone points it out to you, and then they point it out to you, and you can never unsee it. You're like, oh shit. It's like Baskin Robbins, 31 flavors. The 3 and the 1 make
a B.
The B and the R.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I never saw that for 15 years, and then someone pointed it out. It's all I see now. It's like 31. There it is. FedEx, the arrow in between.
Mm-hmm.
The
F and the E.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the arrow. Like, you don't see that arrow. I didn't see it, and then I see it, and now I'm like, oh, that's all there is. I don't know, weird stuff. Anyways, after this podcast's over, I'm going to go watch more Disney movies because they're good. I think a comic said it and then turned my brain onto it. They're like, how many parents have to die in these movies? And then they list them, and you're like, oh, yeah, like Orphan, Scar kills Mufasa, Bambi, Up, all of them.
If you're trying to be emotionally resonant to little kids, like there's not a lot of stuff that's their thing. Like they love their parents, so you go after that.
So let's kill them on camera for these 4-year-olds to know what true loss is like. Seems a bit weird to me, brother. Seems more like that's like in the what is it? I don't even know what it's called, in the think tanks, in the fucking, what's that called, board meetings, focus groups. There you go. In the focus groups, they're like, how can we teach 3-year-olds about loss of life? I don't think that's happening. Oh, maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not there, and it's a lot of movies with a lot of parents. It's in what's that damn not the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy. The first 30 seconds, I'm just sobbing, just dying, crying. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't have a guest. I'm just saying I subscribe to Disney and there's weird shit going on there. It's still good
I
movies.
think it's cool that once upon a time, even in those giant corporations, there was like a little bit of freedom, like a little Wild West stuff going on. It's creepy sometimes, and the things that got through are weird, but like now I don't think.
Well, Walt, he was a Nazi supporter. Disney.
That makes sense then, that some of that stuff got through.
It's just crazy that the most family-friendly, kid-friendly brand on Earth was also supporter of the most evil, most villainous, heinous crimes known to man.
It is.
It's quite the. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just once you learn this stuff, you're just like, oh, what? Why?
Yeah, if you dig deep enough, you can ruin every little bit
Yeah.
of magical stuff about
Yeah.
the world.
You're like, oh, Chevy Chase is an asshole. You're like, fuck. I love him. There's been numerous. That bastard. I call him a bastard because I still love him. His movies, Vacations.
Oh yeah, Fletch's.
Fletch. Come on. And there's just been constant horror story after horror story of him just not being nice on set. And him just saying shit like, I'm just here for the check. It's like, you could think that. Do you got to say it in an interview with Variety or whoever the hell? It's just like, God, who's your PR guy? You're like, fuck this show. And meanwhile, the world loves this show and you. Anyways, still watch Christmas Vacation. Great movie. So I actually read speaking of Chevy Chase being a butthead, also brilliant, talented comedic actor, but he was such a dick to, I believe it was Christopher Columbus during the filming of Christmas Vacation that he quit. It was like, I don't need this shit, because he's successful as fuck director too. He directed Goonies, and he went and directed Home Alone.
Oh wow.
I think it was him, but I remember reading it and I was like, damn, another story? I mean, just
I have heard that Chevy Chase will bend over backwards for his fans, though. Like if he loves to entertain the common person he comes across who's like, oh, Mr. Chase, I love you. He'll give him 20 minutes of his time, like.
Okay.
But yeah, when he's dealing with fellow coworkers and other professionals, he's a monster. But
yeah, so I guess he was such a dick to Christopher Columbus that Chris quit Vacation and did Home Alone, which it worked out.
yes, even
Christopher Columbus has directed the best children's movie of all time. He directed Home Alone and The Goonies. Those are the best children adventure movies ever. Stand By Me is up there, but too sad.
that one's dark.
Too
That's
dark.
like an adult movie.
Yeah, that was an
stars
adult kid
kids.
movie.
Yeah.
But that was like a good
Oh, it's great.
movie. But it's just like, that's not my go-to choice. It's
Just like the lard ass story in the middle of the movie. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, there's this whole other little
yeah,
thing, and then it's done, and then it goes back to the movie.
drinking castor oil and eggs, puking on everybody. I don't know, man. I got nothing. I got everything. I am energy. I am God's creation. Hey, nice shirt. I didn't even notice.
Oh, yeah.
Loosey goosey. Is that the Bill Burr one?
No.
No. That's the one you ripped a hole in, right?
This one?
No. He's wearing a Pendleton right now.
No, I actually had to donate my first Pendleton that I bought because I had to wash it and dry it so many times, and
Oh.
it shrank, and I was moving, and I was just trying to purge, so down to 2 Pendletons.
Well, you made some guy at Goodwill very happy.
Yeah, I imagine so.
He's like, oh, $3. I don't have any poop stories this week.
You should put some like little subliminal things in your merch, like have it like the Little Mermaid cover, but
Yeah, but let's make it not. a cock. Let's make it tits. It'll be fucking Hooters. Oh, speaking of tits, I revisited Little Nicky and Kevin Nealon. They put tits on his head. It's so funny.
Oh, I haven't seen that since the theater.
I haven't either. I saw it in theaters and loved it. People fucking, these stupid critics are like, oh, Little Nicky's not, Shut up. Kevin Nealon's got tits on his head. Just fucking laugh, man. You're trying to make it, it's Adam Sandler film, okay?
I was watching Happy Gilmore. I watched that the other week. And
it's great.
It's great, but I forgot that at the end he like wins with he like chip shots it into the, like after the whole scaffolding falls down, he just like chip shots this thing, and it's just like, it's the dumbest, like most unrealistic ending ever to what is otherwise kind of a realistic movie.
Yeah.
And it's just, I didn't remember how like silly it is at the end when he wins that way.
It's a stupid fun movie, and sometimes that's exactly what you need and want. Little Nicky helped me so much. 'Cause even my girl, it's just a heavy time for the world. I mean, we're in California, we're fucking locked down for the second time, and it didn't work the first time. People are going under. It's awful. It's fucking awful. I'm about to turn red because you guys are right. If it's a blue state, just kidding. I don't want to be red or blue. I just want to be funny. That's it. That's it. Fuck your fucking parties. Let me just tell jokes. Anyways, she said I always like to watch like dark, heavy shit, like Out of the Furnace with Christian Bale and Casey Affleck, and it's about him going to prison and his brother being murdered, and it's just the darkest. She's like, yeah, I don't feel good after that. I'm like, what? But he kills the guy. He gets vengeance for the guy murdering everyone. Very sad, realistic movie. Christian Bale. And she's like, how about Little Nicky? And I was like, all right, that's a good compromise. Totally funny, laughing, enjoying it. Not like, no, bad choices. You're gonna get killed. Yeah. Makes you feel better. What a shocker. Don't watch 999. It's good. It's good. What a cast.
I don't know that one.
It's new on Netflix. It's just an action movie with just star cast. Woody Harrelson, Aaron Paul, fucking, I don't know, some Mexican dude I met at the Comedy Store once. He's in everything. He's dope. Like character actor. And also just crazy. The comedy. Oh, I miss you. Just standing against the wall and being like, oh, that's Rick Rubin. Oh, Justin Bieber's in the main room tonight. Like that happened. Oh, there's Nelly. I grew up bumping his shit. It's fucking the amount. Dave Chappelle bringing Post Malone and me being so dumb and not knowing who he is yet, and just being like, you got tats on your face and a lot of jewelry, and being like, I know you're somebody, but I just don't know who. Like, you can't have that much gold and shit on your face and be with Chappelle and not be somebody, you know? That place is just crazy. Seeing Corey Feldman there one night, just hanging out. Speaking of Stand By Me, that brilliant actor as a child. I don't know if he's had anything good in the past years or if he's been given his shot recently, but boy, that guy was a brilliant child actor.
Yeah.
He was so good. Yes. Well, community service. I think I'm wrapping it up here. I gave you all I have at this moment in time. We're just trying. We'll be back. We'll be back with the guest. We'll be back with higher spirits. It's a time. It's a time. I think most of the world's going through it right now. And that's okay. That's it. Just, you know my thoughts on that. Go on a walk. Dig a nice, moist hole in the soil. Yeah, I love you all. I truly appreciate you for being my ride or dies and, down. Just thank you so much for liking my shit and believing in me. And yeah, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. I love you. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. This episode was brought to you by the Comedy Showcase app on Apple Podcast only. And you know what it is if you've listened to the end of previous shit. If you... I'm the worst promo guy ever. I'm promoting my stuff on my podcast. I'm like, fuck it. If you like stand-up comedy and supporting up-and-coming stand-up artists, this is for you. You get clips, and it's subscription-based. The money you subscribe goes 100% to the comics on the app. Yes, that is right. You pay the artist. So that's fantastic. So go subscribe. I'm going to kill myself. I'm not. Just dark jokes. I'm going to go drink coffee because I want to feel something. And sometimes that's it. That's enough.
Oh, the new opening is on this episode.
Oh, yeah. The new cartoon animated by Joe Guzman. Yeah, thank you so much. That's so awesome. He sent that to me to where it should have been on a previous episode, but I was so fucking depressed and down that I forgot about something that I was genuinely so happy to receive to begin with. I was counting down the days. I was like, when's it going to be ready? When's it going to be ready? Finally got it. I was so happy. And then life hits you, and then you're just like, what cartoon? What cartoon? Nobody gives a shit about shit anymore. It's life happening. It's fucking sad, true reality of the... Anyways, we're just gonna smile. Just put on your veneers and smile, everybody. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Fucking happy. I'm fucking happy. God, thanks for making me. Well, if you made it to the end of this shit show, God bless you. I love you all. Appreciate you. Yeah.